Yeah. Hi, Vivek.
Hey,
Hey,
hi
hi
Vivek.
Vivek.
Hi
Hi
Prithvi.
Prithvi.
Over to you,
Over to you,
Vivek.
Vivek.
I'll be
I'll be
leaving the
leaving the
call
call
now.
now.
Okay.
Okay.
All the
All the
best,
best,
Chanbao.
Chanbao.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi
Hi
Anubhav.
Anubhav.
So
So
can you
can you
please
please
walk
walk
me
me
through
through
your
your
work
work
experience
experience
and
and
what
what
tools and
tools and
technologies
technologies
that you
that you
have
have
used
used
over the
over the
years?
years?
Yes, yes. Hi Vivek. My name is Anubhav Bech. I'm currently working with Philips, like over 3.7 years. Where like I experience in like automating, maintaining, and like improving deployment pipeline, Kubernetes operation, cloud infrastructure. And if you come to my like day-to-day like activity, so first activity we have like monitoring and alert handling. So we have to monitor the pod health, infrastructure usage, and using the uptime. We are using Prometheus, Grafana, AWS Cloud, this kind of things. And for CI/CD, we are basically using this Jenkins. So we have to create like a multi-branch pipeline, and with support like artifact promotion. We integrate like Sonar Cube for code quality check, and we also integrate these things with like Trivy for like vulnerabilities. And pipeline is basically parameterized like for handle like dev queue and pod environment basically. And Kubernetes, we are basically using this EKS cluster. So for like we deployment like different microservices in AWS EKS, so we have to write like Kubernetes manifest file, deployment services, ingress, config map, secrets, these kind of things. And incident handling, we are basically using this SMAX and like Jira, for supporting those tickets. And we are also using Ansible. We have to write like Ansible script. We are using Ginger to template. And for cloud, we are using basically AWS. So we have to using like this provisioning and managing this AWS resources like EKS, like EC2, S3, RDS, IAM role. And we also write this Terraform script for like automating like EKS cluster setup, VPC configuration, this kind of things.
Okay.
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 Great.
Great.
You
You
have
have
worked
worked
on
on
a
a
lot of
lot
tech
of tech
stacks, it
stacks, it
seems.
seems.
So
So
let's get
let's get
started
started
with
with
the
the
basic
basic
question I
question I
have.
ask.
So,
So,
on
on
what
what
scenarios
scenarios
will you
will you
use
use
Terraform
Terraform
versus
versus
Ansible?
Ansible
As you
as you
have,
have used?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
So
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Terraform basically we are using for like this kind of things like creating this EKS cluster, VPC, this kind of things. Like we are creating like any kind of AWS resources like subnets, EC2, these kind of things. We are using this like Terraform. And Ansible we are basically using for like configuration server, like or application, this kind of things.
Okay.
Okay.
So you
So
are
you are
saying through
saying through
Ansible we
Ansible we
cannot
cannot
create
create
infras?
infras?
We are yeah, I would read means we can create this infra, but means I haven't used. I think this is like Terraform is basically very like user friendly for creating this infra like for AWS, and it has lots of features like modules, VADs, workloads for dev queue and pod environment. We are different this kind of things. So like for that we are using this Terraform, but by Ansible we can create, but I haven't used.
Okay.
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 So, like,
Like,
how would
how
you
would you
create,
create,
like,
like,
let's
let's
say you
say
have
you
to
have to
create
create
five
five
EC2
EC2
instances,
instances,
then
then
how
how
would
would
your
your
that definition
definition
block
block
look
look
like?
like?
What would
What
you
would you
define to
define to
create
create
five
five
EC2
EC2
instances
instances
at a
at a
go?
go?
Yeah, so for that we have like a variable, means a variable we can use like count. Okay, by using this count, if you create one things, but using this count means count plus one, so it will be create your five instances. By using this
Count
Count
plus
plus
one
one
will
will
create
like
create
five
five
instances.
instances.
yeah. So I am telling like I first resource box look like I have to create the IAM role. So AMI I have to take, then instance type I have to take. After that, if you are means you have any kind of subnet, so you have to give this subnet ID. Okay, and you create in there you have like one variable you have to add like count is equal to five. Okay, then count is equal to five. It will be create your five instances.
Okay.
And
Okay.
for like if you wanted to give name different name, so we have tags, so inside this tag by name. And if you wanted to call this count, so you have to use like a dollar sign and bracket.
Okay.
Okay,
What is
what
the
is the
difference
difference
between
between
tag
tag
and
and
alias?
alias?
uh, Tag and
Alias.
Alias.
uh, tag basically is if it will give you different names by in Terraform. Okay, in tag. And like different names and like owner names you define inside this tag. And alias basically uh, like if you wanted to deploy it like multiple region, for that like we have to use this alias. Means alias is equal to like west, and like region you can put over there like US East West 2 and something like that.
Okay.
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 So
So
what
what
is
is
this
this
like
like
if I
if I
want to
want to
create an
create an
instance in
instance
a
in a
particular
particular
availability
availability
zone,
zone?
let's
Let's
say
say
I
I
specifically
specifically
want to
want to
create in
create in
1C.
1C.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I
Can I
create
create
it?
it?
Specific availability zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know
I
I
want my
want my
instance to
instance
be
to be
created on a
created on a
specific
specific
availability
availability
zone.
zone.
yes, we can create like if you, but then you have to like means in your resource you have to put like availability zone, and you can like put this availability zone name like east west 1 A B C like that in your resource tab.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
how
how
many
many
availability
availability
zone
zone
does
does
US
US
West
West
have
have
in
uh,
in
India?
India?
1 A east west 1 like one like uh, mm, mm, used Apple division. I think like I'm not able to recall properly. Like one or two, I think we have US one, US two.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
what is
what
the
is the
difference
difference
between
between
availability
availability
zone
zone
and
and
edge
edge
location?
location?
Mm,
Do you
Do you
know
know
what is
what is
edge
edge
location?
location?
yeah, edge location basically availability zone. My like means it's like what do we call like region basically. Like basically it's like is data center we can call like this is data center. And edge location is it's not like a data center. Like it's basically like uh, s- uh, global basically like CDN you can come like uh, content delivery network, like that. It's edge location if you're talking about.
And
And
what is
what is
cloud
cloud
formation
formation
if
if
edge
edge
location is
location
a
is a
CDN?
CDN?
Cloud formation I seem like Terraform. I'm not sure about this cloud formation basically.
Okay.
Okay.
And
And
okay,
okay,
all
all
right,
right,
no
no
issues.
issues.
So
So
let's
let's
move
move
ahead.
ahead.
So
So
you have
you have
worked
worked
with
with
Kubernetes as
Kubernetes
well,
as well,
right?
right?
So
So
what
what
is
is
basically
basically
a
a
difference
difference
between a
between a
deployment
deployment
and a
and a
stateful
stateful
set?
set?
Yeah, so both thing is like different. So deployment it help you like deploy is help taking help of replica set, it will deploy your pods. Okay. And over there you can use like EBS volume and like a volume and all those things. But if you come to like stateful set, basically you are using the stateful set for the like database. So it's have capability, so name convention. So if your pod is created, is created in the same name order, and if you wanted to restart, it will be restart like same name. And also it's helps, see, if you have three pod 1, pod 2 and pod 3, it's help to like sync this volume. So if you want one EBS volume, it's sync these three things. And also it's have one more capability like read write, it will create one pod master, so it will like read write access these things have. So these things help basically like stateful set. If you wanted to create stateful set manually, you have only this naming convention. But basically you have to use like persona db, persona xdb. So it will be have like it will be give you this three features of these things.
Okay,
Okay,
and what
and
is
what is
Persona
Persona
DB?
DB?
Is
Is
it
it
It's
NoSQL
NoSQL
SQL?
SQL?
persona xdb basically it's like one kind of like what do you call like uh, is Helm basically. So it will be like persona, like it's like have no SQL or SQL both things.
Okay. Okay. So you said that all the three pods in a stateful set will share a single volume.
And sync.
Sync means like I didn't get. Can you explain?
Sync means basically see means I means all the volumes or what all the sets of volume whatever you have these three pods, it will be sync means if like read operation is happening in your pod 3, so it will be sync both three pods.
If read operation is happening, then it will reach to the volume, right? To the DB.
Mm, yeah, but it's like through like pods it's coming through, right? So that's why the sync may syncs like happening with these three sets means one
Let's
request.
say there, let's say there are three pods, pod A, B, and C, and your request is coming to pod A, where it needs to read some data. Then why it needs to communicate with pod B and pod A, or pod B and pod C?
uh, uh, ma- uh, uh, from my
That
understanding huh.
that is unnecessary communication, right? That doesn't need to go to those pods. Why it needs to go there?
See, if client is do kind means read operation, then it comes to like service your load balancer or anything, then it goes to pod, and pod to it's come to like persistent volume, then to the database. So this
Persistent volume is your database, right? Persistent volume is your database. You are saying there are three pods which is connecting to a single database, and all three pods get sync together. Okay, you are giving a particular case here. So my question is, like, if communication is coming to pod A, why that communication needs to propagate to pod B and pod C, which is not needed in this scenario, right? It needs to read some data.
no no no
The communication came to pod A, it went to database, it read that data, and again that went through pod A to the client.
yeah, yeah, so this volume which volume we are using that sync to our others volume, other spot. So this will have this
But why it is needed? Why it is needed anyways? Like, which application you are taking into reference here?
application means
Like, you are giving it is not a generic stateful set config that you are saying. So you might be taking some application into consideration, that how that application is working as a stateful set. You are giving that particular input here. So I want to understand which is that application that you are taking into consideration, so I can understand more context onto this, that why that communication is going through.
uh, I read somewhere like it's help to like sync the volume with like your pod A, pod B, and pod C. So like it's help this sync mechanism. So like volume may be persist, like it's not like any mismatch with the other value volumes. So each pod handle its own request basically. That's things I read somewhere like this sync mechanism. This stateful should have.
Okay. 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 All right. So, can three different stateful sets or three different stateful set pods have their own volumes?
Three. Yeah, they have
Three.
their. Yes, yes.
Okay. So then, whatever you are saying now, then that contradicts your statement, right? You said that three pods will have single volume and it will sync.
Maybe this volume sync like same, right? Because this different if you have different volume, so basically if one volume is have different data, so it's maybe sync.
Okay. All right. So, uh, So how you are handling like your day-to-day activities? Like, is it related to infra, or it is related to any application teams? Like, how do you work on your day-to-day life?
Yeah, day-to-day work life, see, it's depends on the things, like what things we have. Like we have monitoring and pipeline maintaining, these kind of things, like Kubernetes operation and all those things we have to, like. And also like we have a different like request we came. So if I explain you, means last week I got one ticket, so from Jira ticket, and the Scrum Master, he assigned this ticket to me. So basically, like this is happen like a 502 error, they are getting, like dev team. So they run the pipeline and then they are getting this 502 error. So that's things we troubleshoot by checking the logs and all those things. And these logs I am not able to find anything, then I check like what other things we have. Then I found out that like last PR they are changed like some db keyword. Okay, so then I like change the config map, and then again I run the pipeline. So that's things like resolve this issue. So this is depend on, means how we are getting this work, like. So that work means we have to like work, means we have to like take the action.
Okay, okay. So let's say you get an request, okay, to spin up an EKS cluster, okay, a new EKS cluster. What all things you will consider while spinning up an EKS cluster? Have you worked before to spin up a EKS cluster?
um, Basically before only this EKS cluster is already set up, but if you are asking means how to set up, like first we have to take means the data, means how much like data they want, like means for that we have to we have to like which environment like we have to create, and what is the workload of these things. And like if you want like high availability, then we have to like set up these things also by help this VPC and like a node group and all those things. Then first I'll set up my VPC and like network setup. Like I have to create the custom VPC, like how much they want, like we can create for like that way for work orders, for work nodes. We have to create like private subnets, and public subnets we have to create for the like load balancer. Okay, then we have to set up like internet gateway, NAT gateway, by that way. Then if EKS needs like resources to talk, like for, then we have to create this IAM role. Okay, so like that way we have to create this IAM role. Then we have to create this cluster. So for that we have like means we have to write this Terraform script for module. If you wanted to use, then like module you have to create. If you wanted to, but EKS CTL also you can create. Okay, so like that way we have to create these things.
Okay, all right, all right. So l- what is the use of IAM role? Like, if you don't have IAM role, what will happen?
So it will be like IAM role. See, here like I am giving one example. Like I have one EKS cluster, and I want communicate this EKS cluster particular port with my EBS volume. So for that you have to create this IAM role, and means one services to communicate with another services, we have to create this IAM role. So basically it's like authentication purpose we can use, like security reason.
So pod to pod communication without IAM role, it will not work, you are saying?
No, I'm not talking about pod to pod. Like inside EKS cluster, you have one pod. Okay, that pod have like EBS volume. So for that means you have to create this IAM role, service account, and CSI driver. So for that, and pod to pod communication, we have like cluster IP. So cluster IP you can use for communicate pod to pod communication.
Okay. Okay, so what is the use of CSI driver? What does CSI driver
Yes,
does?
CSI driver basically it's help to communicate this. Suppose I have one data, like one pod, and these pods don't have directly communicate through your EKS cluster to EBS. Okay, so for that this CSI driver helped to along with this IAM role to help to communicate with your EBS volume. I know that things through this CSI driver is help to through this communicate with EBS driver.
Okay. So is it only through service account? Like you were saying, you will create service account role binding, and you will bind the IAM role to this service account. So I got that. So is it mandatory to go through that process like IRSA? Uh, the one that you're saying, right? That is called IRSA process. So yeah. Apart from IRSA, is there any other way that you can achieve this?
Other way, other way, don't know, but like that way means you can create this communication.
Okay. So you are saying natively, let's say if there is anything that needs to communicate with your cloud provider, you need to have a IAM role for that, and through that IAM role, that particular application will be communicating with your cloud provider, right?
Yeah, so I am basically help to communicate different services in AWS. So you can create like if you wanted to create EC2 instance, you wanted to communicate with the S3, so IAM role is needed.
Okay, fair enough. All right. All right. So you are saying you have recently faced an issue, right? Wherein you have checked the logs, and then you identified that there are some DB key mismatch that happened. So what logs did you check exactly?
So first I checked this. Uh, mm, uh, if you wanted to troubleshoot your like Kubernetes, so first logs we have to check by using this Kubernetes describe command. So Kubernetes describe command, what will happen? So it will be events log. It will check. So first you have to check this events log. If you're not able to find from the events log, then you have to normally check the pod logs by kubectl log command, kubectl log and pod. Then you have to check this pod logs. Then you have to check the endpoints, means like if you wanted to using this ingress, so you have to check this ingress like endpoint is and your port is reachable or not. So by that way you can troubleshoot this issue.
But it is a DB application, you said, right? So is DB connected to Ingress like public?
No, no, for my situation I am not able to find any kind of things inside this from inside this EKS cluster. So that's why I checked last PR. So this last PR helped me to check whatever configuration we have done in our config map, it is capital letters, but inside this they are changed it to small letter in the configuration file. So root analysis is like this. I checked git PR and noticed that someone like change this, rename the environment variable.
Okay. Okay. So you also said you are utilizing Privy with your Jenkins pipeline, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
So can you explain how you have integrated that?
Okay, so basically what TV we don't have any kind of plugin in inside this Jenkins. Okay, so for that in the Jenkins server we manually install this TV. Okay, and install this TV, and in our pipeline we just give the TV command, like TV checks TV command we run in our pipeline, and we have to check see this critical and high dependency checks from there.
Okay. Okay. All right. Right. So, what are different types of services in Kubernetes apart from cluster IP?
Yeah, so after apart from cluster IP we have node port. So it will be create open your port from like 3000 to like 3001, and it will be like internal communication like dev and QA. Okay, for that we have like a node port, and then we have load balancer. And basically what happened is like outside means you want to if you wanted to access your application from the outside, so we have load balancer. Apart from load balancer we have like external name. So basically like external DNS name. Okay, it's doesn't create any proxy or like cluster IP. And apart from that we have also like headless services, where we in like it will be give you one DNS. Okay, it will not give you like any kind of IP. So for that, inside this YML file we have to check like cluster IP none.
Okay. Okay, all right. So, for example, okay, there is an application that is running that is having memory leaks. How do you identify that?
mm, Services like memory leak.
Like a pod is you have configured a pod with, let's say, one core of CPU and 5 gigs of memory. Then, how do you identify that it is having memory leaks?
So as my understanding, basically what happened, like if you have memory leak, is like frequently increase your memory usage. So for that, like first we have to go inside the cluster and we have to check that your pod is like frequently restart or not, like it goes to your crash loop back of error or not. Okay, after that means we can check this like we have like if you enable this Prometheus and Grafana, so you have check the matrices, or else you can use this top command. Okay, kubectl top command, so it will be show you like which if memory uses high or not. Then we can also check like application log by kubectl log command. Okay, you can check from there. Like that way you can check like memory leaks you can identify.
But how you identify what particular metrics or what particular information will suggest that there are memory leaks?
What kind of matrix helps, huh?
Hmm.
uh, like uh, mm, High memory usage, I told, like is will huge high memory usage and
Yeah,
high
but what metrics you will check?
what matrix mm, means this matrix like CPU usage matrix, restart count means if you can restart or not, and OM killed, that it's also we can check.
These are not metrics. You said Prometheus and Grafana you will use, right? So if you need to check in Prometheus and Grafana, what is the metrics that you will use to check that? Anyways, will you go inside the container and check?
We can go by kubectl exec command, we can use and go inside the container and check.
And then if it is a Linux based container, what will you do to check?
Linux based container means like Docker.
Okay. So a container can be built on top of Linux, on top of Golang, on top of Python, right?
mm,
It can be so how do you have used Docker as well, right? So how do you build a container?
Docker run command, Docker run, then container name. You can create this like Docker container, and if you wanted to go inside this Docker container, you can use like Docker exec hyphen it, then your
No,
container
no,
name bean bash.
no, not that. Have you used Dockerfile?
Docker file, yeah, we are using
So what is the first statement that you give in a Dockerfile?
base image.
Yeah, what is that base image?
It's depend on for what kind of things you are using, like Alpine or like Alpine
So
images.
now, yeah. So Alpine is what? Alpine is based on what?
Operating system,
Yeah, what operating system?
Linux based.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that then the container is a Linux based container, right? If you are using Alpine.
Okay, df-h command we can use, and like df-h command, it will show you like how much memory usage. And also we have like top command. By using this top command also you can check like which like most memory usage. If you wanted to like filter out, then top, then we have to ampersand, then mem ampersand, then high cpu usage, it will show you. And
CPU it will show, but it is I'm saying memory leak. So what will you check for memory leak?
df-h for memory means
DF is for disk free. DF is not for memory. It is for disk.
free hyphen h.
Free hyphen M will give. Yeah. Yeah. H is human readable. You can give HM. It will give you. So now you saw that the container is giving like, let's say the actual container. It is actual processes. It is using, let's say, 250 MB of RAM or memory that you have given. But then your container is getting OM killed. So in that scenario, is there a memory leak that you can think of that is happening?
Really.
Can you say that this is ideal scenario for memory leak?
For memory leak we have like high memory usage. uh,
No, high memory usage for what? High memory usage for what?
uh, for
So
example.
let's say for so let's say you created a pod, you gave 5 GB of RAM to that pod. Okay. So what is for that 5 GB for what? Who will be using that 5 GB of RAM?
Your application.
Uh, Application will use, but
Node.
what will be underlined that application to that application?
uh, like processes, your processes can use those things.
Yeah, correct. So now if you are checking that free minus m inside that container and you are seeing the processes are not using, but still your pod is going OM killed. So what is the scenario in that?
One thing,
Anyways,
yeah, one thing is came to my
let's
mind. Huh.
go ahead, go ahead. Sorry.
One thing is like inode we can check like your inode is filled up not.
Why we use inode?
uh,
What is inode?
inode basically like if you see, if you are creating df-h and you are checking that like memory is sufficient, but still
Again, DF is not for memory.
yeah, yeah, sorry, yes.
No issues. Let's move ahead. But yeah, that would be ideal scenario for memory leak.
Memory
So
leak.
when your processes are not utilizing, but still your container is crashing, there is no zombie process running inside, and still your pod is consuming higher, then there is some leakage that is happening, provided there is no sidecar container running to that pod. Otherwise, you need to go and check again with that sidecar also. And if you are not configuring again your memory based on container and you are just giving a standard 5 GB global variable like that, then you can check that. But this things you can do to check if there is a memory leak.
Memory.
Yeah, and that is very essential. Give me 1 minute,
Yeah,
sorry.
sure.
Hey, sorry. Okay, so let's move ahead. Uh, and I will give you a short script to write. You are good with Python or with Shell?
Both we are using Python and Shell.
Okay. I will just give here.
In the chat, huh?
Yeah, in the chat, I will give. Just give me 1 minute. So, yeah, the question is like just reverse this string and the string value would be equal to string.
Okay, we have like reverse string and
String equals to string. Like you can give any input. You can write a script for that. That how would you reverse the string?
okay, basically we have to reverse the string.
Yeah, you have to write a script to reverse the string.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah.
We have like uh, reverse option like okay, first we have to like uh, yeah, first we have to create one. Return this REV. Then I have to like call call this It will be take this value, and by one it will iterate and will be adding character, then it will be return this what do you call, reverse the strings.
Hmm. Okay. All right. So
So
just
just
one
one
thing
thing
here.
here.
So
So
when you
when
are
you are
giving
giving
reverse
reverse
equals to
equals to
character
character
plus
plus
reverse,
reverse,
Hmm.
and you
and
are
you are
reading
reading
character
character
in
in
string
string
Hmm.
s,
s.
okay,
Okay,
so
so
let's
let's
say
say
s
s
is
is
equals to
equals to
unverb.
unverb.
Okay,
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
so
so
the
the
reverse
reverse
string
string
should
should
print
print
like
like
v
v
first,
first,
then
then
a,
a,
then
then
h,
h,
then
then
b,
b,
then
then
u,
u,
then
then
n,
n,
and
and
then
then
a.
a.
But
But
in
in
this,
this,
it
it
will
will
print
print
unverb
unverb
as it
as it
is,
is,
Uh,
right?
right?
no, no.
You are
You are
not.
not.
Hmm.
Hmm.
First
S
S
plus
character.
plus
reverse.
reverse.
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
s
S
s
S
plus
plus
reverse.
reverse.
Reverse is
Reverse is
equals to
equals to
null,
null,
right?
right?
So it
So it
will
will
it
it
will
will
first
first
print
print
a.
A.
okay, I am taking example of this string. So first
Mhm.
iteration what we will do, so first iteration s will take, so first iteration like first iteration it will become s. Okay, so first iteration it will become s. Okay, then second
Mhm.
iteration what will become, it will become like uh, yeah, so first iteration it will become s, then second iteration it will become like this t will become first of this s, like that. Okay, then second iteration it will become r first, okay, then ts. That's why I put character first, then rev. So and rev also here, whatever things is there, so I am concatenating these things with others, means what stored in our rev. So like that way it will be iterate, and last things you will be get this g first. Okay, g you can get first, then this reverse format of this, so like that way will be iterating. So s first comes, then whenever t is coming, t is concatenate first of this s, like that way iterating. So
Okay.
that's why I putting rev is equal to char plus rev.
All
All
right.
right,
All
all
right.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you
for
for
explaining.
explaining.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
all
right.
right.
I
I
am
am
good
good
with
with
my
my
round.
round.
So
So
if you
if you
have
have
any
any
question,
question,
then
then
please
please
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Basically, what cloud basically HP is using currently, which cloud?
We are
We are
actually
actually
using
using
multi-cloud
multi-cloud
environments,
environments
like we
like we
have
have
Azure,
Azure,
AWS,
AWS,
GCP,
GCP,
all
all
three.
three.
So
So
it is
it is
multi-cloud
multi-cloud
environment.
environment.
But we
But we
predominantly
predominantly
work on
work on
AWS.
AWS.
So you
So you
can
can
say
say
70%
70%
AWS,
AWS,
20%
20%
Azure,
Azure,
and
and
like
like
10%
10%
GCP.
GCP.
10%. And no, we don't have any on-premise. Huh?
No, we
No, we
don't have
don't have
on-prem.
on-prem.
Okay.
We
We
have
have
like
like
other
other
projects are
projects are
working,
working,
but
but
for
for
our
our
team, we
team,
are
we are
not
not
using
using
on-prem.
on-prem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All
All
right.
right.
Okay.
All
All
right
right
then.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.